Hi, I'm Chef D and welcome to my house. But today, we're going to take you to a hothouse. That's right, Elmira's own tomatoes. We're going to learn all about how to grow a tomato year-long in a hothouse. And then, we're going to go to Danby, where they're going to teach you how you can grow your own tomatoes and other vegetables in your own home. Won't you join me? Welcome to At Home with Chef D. Hey, last year we took you around the world, but this year we're taking you to different farms, and today we're out at one of my favorites, Elmira's own tomato farm, where Stuart, you've been growing tomatoes now for how long?
For about 12 years.
12 years. And I think I've been buying them from Martin's almost from the day that you guys started selling them to there. How did that come about? And how did all this come about?
Well, we started growing tomatoes in our garden, and we truly believe we can grow a tomato in the greenhouse just as well as in the garden.
So it wasn't anything that you wanted the season to get longer or anything like that? You just thought, hey...
Well, certainly. I mean, people were buying stuff from Mexico and all over the world in off-season, so
yeah.
we're trying to get that customer.
And you've got that customer, because I've been saying for so long, when you didn't have the season from, maybe late August to maybe beginning of October, tomatoes were great and they tasted great, but every off season, they would taste like styrofoam. Not that I know what styrofoam tastes like, but I just always thought there was no flavor. And then I was out at Martin's and they said, hey, you gotta try one of these tomatoes. And so I did, and I have 3 of them right here. So we have your 2 grape tomatoes, right? And a cherry tomato. And what kind of varieties do you actually, other than the 3 that we have right now here, what do you grow?
Well, we do grow the orange and the yellow and the red grape, and then the cherry, of course, the one that you just swallowed whole.
Well, they're in my hand. I can just not eat them. But you also grow bigger
beefsteak
tomato.
That's right.
So that's the 4 varieties that you grow. Yeah. Now, why did you pick those 4 varieties? Is it just because it grows better in the greenhouse, or how'd that come about?
We started with the beefsteak because that's everybody's, that's the main tomato, or that was my belief at the time. We just grew a wee bit of grape tomatoes to try them. There was never an end in demand for them. Still, the demand seems to be increasing more for grape tomatoes.
For grape tomatoes, right? Because you can do them in salads and do them so much, and we'll talk about that later. What's the difference between an import tomato and the tomato that you're growing right here, right now?
Well, an imported tomato, it has to be grown in such a way and harvested in such a way that it can be shipped 2,000 miles. So that consequently is at the expense of good flavor and nutrition. These tomatoes ripen right on the vine, just like from your garden, in the sun every day, right till they're red and ready to eat.
So they're harvested, they're red, they're not harvested green.
Exactly.
All the great nutrients. So when I look up in the greenhouse here, I see this yellow strip that kind of goes along here. What's that for?
That's to catch all the bad insects.
Okay.
Yeah, this is a perfect environment for plants. It also is for insects. So you get all the insects flying in the vents from the outside. They like it at the top of the plant where it's nice and fresh and lush growth. And then they feed off the juice of the plant.
Okay.
So now we try to catch them on that tape there before they come in here.
So then you don't spray any...
no chemicals.
No chemicals at all. So that's why we can breathe so nicely in here. But you also have something else in here. You have bees in here.
Yes.
And how does that all work?
Well, we need bees in here because of the absence of the bees from the outside. We need to bring in bees to pollinate the flowers to get the fruit.
So tell me a little bit about how the seeds come about and how you pick the seeds to actually grow the tomatoes that you would like to grow here.
Well, we have to just test seeds. We go to different trial houses around, where seed companies will do trials and will test their product, and in that way choose the best variety possible.
That's incredible, just how much effort goes into creating something like this. Tell me a little bit of the season and how the growing season works with having a hothouse tomato.
We plant the summer crop in February or in December, and then we start picking in February.
Okay.
And then we'll pick all through summer right into December,
Yep.
and then we'll terminate the crop.
Okay. So one crop that is behind, you would have planted this back last December?
This crop typically gets planted in December, yes.
And then the growing, so then you're now being able to produce tomatoes in the hothouse all year round, right?
That's correct.
Because when you first started, you were only doing partial seasons, right?
That's right. We'd always shut down for the winter time.
And I always thought because the plants had to catch up, it wasn't that, it was just the whole process, right?
Yeah, you'd have to start over with a new plant.
Okay.
Because the plant will be very tired from February to December, producing tomatoes all the time. And summer is quite hard on a tomato plant because it'll work really hard.
Because of the sunshine?
Exactly.
So now in the off seasons, and I mean like more of your February to maybe April, and then again from October to December, where you don't get as much light. Now, is that easier on the tomato, or how does that work? Or do you kind of all averages out?
Well, there comes a time in, say, July and August, parts of June, even some days in September, where there'll be way more light energy than what a plant can use in a day. And it'll be maybe even so intense that it'll burn the fruit, like sort of a sunburn kind of thing, and lower the quality of the product in the summertime. So then we use these shade curtains and stuff.
Okay, so then the shade comes out and away you go. You really had to think this all through. Like when I'm thinking a hothouse, you're thinking, son, it's easy to do. It's not easy to do, is it?
No, it's not. It's not just simple. Yeah, I mean, the sun is your first and most important and number one. It's your energy, right? It's your first source of any growth, regardless. Any life is the sun. And then after that, you start adding the other stuff.
Yeah. So watering your plants, how do you water the plants?
We water them from the well.
Okay.
With an emitter to each plant. A little emitter drips water based on the amount of light available to the plant.
Yeah.
It'll drip water in there.
And then you reharvest that water again and reuse it again.
Exactly. It recycles all the time. Any water that gets leached out of the root zone of the plant will be caught, recollected, and then taken and used again.
And it's almost like coconut shavings, or?
Yeah, that's what it is. It's ground up coconut hull.
Right, and so then it holds the water, so again, holds the moisture so you can grow it.
That's right.
So I can't thank you enough for having us here today, learning more about a truly great product, Elmira's Own. Check it out at your local grocery store, or you can come out here to the farm, see Stuart and his team, and have it fresh from the farm. Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
Hey, for this recipe, we're gonna make a tomato salsa with these amazing vine-ripe tomatoes from here at Elmira's Own. I have Melissa, marketing manager here. We're gonna add some onions, garlic, fresh lime juice, a little bit of salt and pepper. We don't want to overdo it because we have something so sweet, so natural, so flavorful, and just bring it all together. Let's get cooking. So we're gonna start off with some amazing Elmira's own yellow tomatoes. We're gonna make a yellow cucumber gazpacho, which means there's no cooking to this at all. So I have some amazing yellow Elmira's own tomatoes. We're gonna grab our bowl, and you can do this in a food processor or with a hand blender like what we're going to do. We have some of the tomatoes. We might have dropped one. We gotta have one to make sure they're okay. So sweet, so tender, so great. A little bit of cucumber. We're gonna add some salt and pepper. You can add as much salt or as much pepper as you want. And what I've done here, now in the real recipe with gazpacho, you would put raw onions in. Sometimes some people don't like raw onions as much. So I've just lightly sauteed these off. We're gonna add a little bit of our onion, some fresh lime juice just to bring it all together. And then lastly, as you all know, my favorite herb, a little bit of fresh basil is gonna go in. We're gonna take it, a nice rough chop, nothing fancy to this. Chop that in. We're gonna grab our hand blender. And this is going to take about 30 seconds. As you can just see, it's going to blend down nicely. And it doesn't have to, you can be as thin as you want or as chunky as you like it. There we go. Take it off, put it back. And then we're going to put it into our bowl here. And look at, you have some amazing Elmira's own yellow cucumber gazpacho. Well, I have Melissa Cowan from Elmira's own. Melissa, I'd like you to try this. See what you think. While you're standing here, Melissa's the head of the marketing team here out at Elmira's own. Excellent. I'm going to make a quick and easy salsa for us, okay? Great. So we have some of your amazing red tomatoes, the grape tomatoes again. But you could use the beefsteak tomatoes in this one as well. We're going to take some of our onions and garlic mixture. A little bit of pepper. Oh, we got to have some of these vine-ripe tomatoes too, right?
Absolutely.
This is so exciting to be here and see all this grow, and amazing, amazing. So in that goes. We're going to take some fresh cilantro. Now, if you like lots of cilantro, put lots in. If you don't, you can use a little bit of it. We have a little bit more juice of lime, or you can use lemon if you want. Or if you don't have any of that and you have some vinegar in your fridge, that will work. Maybe not that one, we'll just get a little bit more juice from this one. See, it all happens on TV, you know?
Exactly.
So we're gonna puree this now. Nice and chunky. And Melissa, you can just see how easy these simple recipes are, because the other thing too is you have an amazing product here. You don't want to over season it, you don't want to overcook it, and simple and easy are a way to go by.
Yeah, it
now
smells great.
Here's a little bit of the salsa. I'll hold that for you.
Thank you. Amazing.
Two
really,
simple
really
and easy recipes here at Elmira's own, right in the greenhouse.
Cooking with Chef D.
We've taken you to big greenhouses, and now I was out searching for something that you can actually use in your own home or condo, and here I am at the Danby outlet with Long. Long, welcome to the show.
Thank you so much, Chef.
So we have behind us 2 prototypes of what you've been working on for Danby for, that our consumers can actually come and grow something. Tell me a little bit about them.
Yeah, so it all started about 3 years ago when we brought our reverse logistics capabilities back in-house. And we saw that we were able to save a lot of these products from going to the landfills. And eventually we started saying, hey, what kind of products can we create with these? And that's when Danby Fresh came to be, the idea of the Danby Fresh.
Just hold that thought for a minute. So these are like maybe older, might have been bar fridges or something like that, and you kind of rejigged them, and now they're doing something like this?
No, so originally it started with the Danby Fresh Eco, which was that remanufacturing old product to try to get a new spin on it, and then saving it from going to the landfill and lowering our environmental footprint.
That's
and
really
then
cool.
from that, we got market research and feedback, and doing our own R&D, we're actually able to come up with prototypes like the 2 devices you see behind me, the Danby Fresh countertop units, to allow more variety in bringing these kind of products into the market to give the people the year-round growing that they want in their condo life, or again in Canadian winters.
Because our growing season is quite short, and even in this season where we've had lots of rain, it's becoming much more time sensitive. So you could actually, and we were talking off air, you could actually start some of the plants in this to plant outside, right?
Absolutely. It's a great way to start propagating some seeds and get some seedlings going, especially, and again, with our bad weather that we are having right now, to start all that and then bring it outside, and then again, during the fall, potentially bringing some of that back inside so that you can have that year round again.
So I see that we're growing some basil back here. We have some, looks like chocolate mint or something back here. And so you're growing some herbs here, but you can grow the whole variety, right? It's not just herbs that these can be used for, right?
Absolutely. So the lights that we're using, they're optimized for these 2 products, optimized for leafy greens and microgreens and things like that. But for the larger units that we actually have stronger lights that allow you to grow more fruiting plants, even flowering plants as well. So we do give that variety within our products, but these ones are optimized for leafy greens and microgreens.
So the lights in them, like, is it going to cost me a fortune on my hydro bill to have one of these?
Actually, these are running LED lights, and it's a very new technology in the growing industry right now. A lot of companies and in the industry is pivoting over to them because they are more efficient. That being the case, it actually runs a lot, around 60% more efficient than traditional grow lights out there, the HPS, the HIDs, and things like that. So the industry's slowly pivoting over to LEDs.
Okay, so not only can you do seedlings, you can do, herbs and stuff like that. Is there anything else that you think, hey, I've tried it and it's been a really big success in this?
We're still doing a lot of prototyping and growing right now as well. So we've tried growing anything from tomato plants to microgreens to wheatgrass. We haven't really tried anything too crazy out there, but we do really
I like how you're thinking. You're thinking, like, we got to do this now. Chef D asked us.
Yeah, absolutely. Again, we're getting a lot of market feedback and doing a lot of research ourselves. So we're just waiting to get all that in and then refining the products that you see behind us and the ones that are coming in the future.
Perfect. And they can come here to the Danby outlet, or they can go to their local appliance store and find something like this, right?
Yes, absolutely. The ones right now behind you, they're still in prototyping. They should be launching in the next couple of months. The Eco right now are available at our outlet store. You can come visit us in Guelph location.
I've saw them a bunch of times, and they might be sneaking out in the back of the truck later. Can you give us your website so people, if they'd like to take a look and go on the website, and what's your website that they could actually
absolutely. It's www.danby.com. And the Danby Fresh Eco is filed under the specialty category right now.
Perfect. Well, thank you. I have to go over to the other side of the kitchen and make some salads. You're going to come with me?
Yes, fine.
Okay, perfect. We're in the kitchen here. We have some amazing product from our good friends at Elmira Zone. We have some beefsteak tomatoes, some of their amazing grape tomatoes, but this is truly what I'm talking about. And you know, years ago we used to think when you thought about hot houses that maybe the flavor or the texture or anything like that wouldn't be great, but I want to tell you, they pick them at the peak of freshness. So they're not green when they're picking them. They're actually red when they're picking them. So you have to try one of these. I'm going to try one of these.
Wow, that's fresh.
Oh yeah. So everybody asks me, how do you cut a tomato really well or really thinly, right? What you use is a serrated knife. You don't use your regular chef's knife, you use a serrated knife. So you can grab your beefsteak tomato and you just can go as thin as you like or as thick as you like. But it just cuts it and it doesn't ruin the skin. You know how sometimes when you're cutting into a tomato or you at home cutting into a tomato, it might you just kind of break it down and it kind of falls apart on you. When you have the serrated knife, it just goes really nicely and you just cut this beautiful tomato, away you go. And that's what we're going to do. We're going to take our tomatoes, we're going to put them on our plate just like so. And then, now what I've done today is taken everything that you can get out of a greenhouse or what we've been doing here at Danby with using them in your home and growing them that way. And what we have is some amazing microgreens. So we're going to take some microgreens here, put this on top of the tomatoes, just like so. We're going to take a little bit of our olive oil, and this is just an extra virgin olive oil, over top. Now, you're in for a treat. We have some good friends out in Whistler, and they've been doing this amazing work with their balsamic. So we have a balsamic glaze here. This is their strawberry fig one. So if you just want to grab a spoon there, I'll put a little bit on for a try. Give that a whirl. Then when you're eating that, I'm just going to give it a little drizzle, just like so. And the great thing is they take the balsamic, reduce it down. They don't add any extra sugars in that. It's a true classic way of doing it. What do you think?
Wow, that's a very unique taste, and I actually love it.
And you can get three different flavors. You can buy them at all your local grocery stores. It's absolutely fantastic. So we have our one salad here with our tomatoes and a little bit of microgreens. Now for our second salad, again, like we were mentioning earlier, that you can grow all these great different leaf lettuces. Now this is from a hothouse, but when you come and start working with the new little Danby Fresh, thank you. You can grow this at home, and you can grow this all season long. So all year round, right?
Absolutely.
That'd be perfect. So we're going to take a little bit of our leaf lettuce. We're going to cut a little bit of this off on our plate. And you notice that I'm not putting it in a big bowl and mixing it all together. Do this individually, and then you can put as much balsamic or as little on it, or as much olive oil or as little on it. And don't limit yourself just to olive oil. There's some great canola oils out there. There's some great avocado oils, and just, you know, tailor it the way that you like it. So we're just going to put this up. Now, I got some cucumber. We're going to switch knives. And this is just a seedless cucumber, again, grown in a hothouse. They grow them literally from March right through till the end of the year. And we're going to quickly chop this up. On the cucumber goes a couple of tomatoes, a couple different colored ones, give it some pop, a little bit of olive oil. Oh, we're going to do a different one. Drizzle a little bit of balsamic over it. You don't have balsamic, please use lemon juice, lime juice, apple cider vinegar, all works. Till next time, I'm Chef D. We're taking it all over to different farms and different ideas, keeping it fresh, keeping it real.
if you're able, we'll be at the kitchen table, cooking with Chef D.